Good morning, everyone. It's your host, Bear Evans with Lil Mike Fight Night. And if you're wondering why I'm not holding my lap mic, it is because y'all are some savages in the comments. Why I hold the lap mic is because my mom bought me this like as a stocking stuffer for Christmas, like a little a phone microphone. And I'm like, you know what'd be kind of tacky is to do like the whole UFC thing with this little microphone. Well, it was for your phone, not your camera. Didn't work out, but I thought it was kind of like a calling, just like, hey, you have the time now, go and make these videos. And that was kind of like my sign from God to go ahead and do it. So I went and bought an actual mic. Now I was like, well, let me just hold it. It doesn't look like the microphone, so y'all don't really understand why I'm holding it. But anyways, it's in my shirt now. Y'all are welcome. I will tag that video at the end of this video on the end screen, so y'all can see what video I had so much shit talking on me for. Then also I might have done a little bit of clickbait, which I will never do again. It was only like 50-50. But anyways, let's get to the video. There are concerns that Aljamains Sterling has a staph infection. So Full Mount MMA went ahead and posted this video of Aljamains Sterling working on some grappling technique, and it showed his elbow. And let me just go ahead before I say anything or put thoughts in your heads. Let me let you watch the video and see what you think.
The MMA community is concerned that Aljamains Sterling may have a staph infection leading into UFC 300. Aljo will be making his featherweight debut against Calvin Kattar. This photo is going around X. It says Aljamains Sterling is showing signs of a staph infection on his elbow. This screenshot was taken from a video that...
Okay, did y'all see that? Let me go back real quick. So, I wish I could zoom in here a little bit. So, everyone is saying this is staph infection, and on this video, someone brought up a good point too. And I want to say this delicately in the situation we're in, but you know, with this climate and politicalness and all that. But when I don't have many friends now. You know, you have a kid and a business, and I got like one or two. But you know, in high school, had a lot of black friends who were also football players as well too. And so anytime they got cut up or scratched, like one of my best friends, I remember he used to wear like a sleeve on his arm, Cornell, as to not get like cut up too bad during football practice because he was a freaking defensive end. So it might be, what it looks like to me is it looks like Aljamain maybe had a scab or a scrape and it's healing just because he is black. I mean, it looks differently than it does like on someone who is of a lighter complexion, just how it looked like different on someone who is of a brown complexion. So that's what I believe it is. Does it look like a little, maybe it could be like a little dry because you know, it's new skin forming, but I wouldn't necessarily think this is staph. Now, because, you know, it's Aljamain Sterling. He's a smart person. He was one of the freaking GOATs of the bantamweight division. I just think that he's too smart to post something like him having staph infection on his elbow. I know he's in a closed gym in a private session right now. The guy filming him, right? I just feel like he'd have it covered up or he wouldn't let that get exposed. That's just my thoughts on it. I personally don't think it's staph. I think it's just an African-American man who with a different skin complexion. So his cuts, they heal differently. That's what I think, guys. Please drop it down below. If I'm wrong, go ahead and let me know. But I don't think he has staph infection. I think it's just a scab. So I want to go ahead and clear the air there. And now, I also want to talk a few more things on this MMA talk. They talk about Charles Oliveira struggling to make weight. You know he struggled to make weight whenever with Islam Makhachev and him fought. And then also with Gaethje and him. And so, like, literally he had the title stripped from him. He consistently struggles to make weight, right? So this is Chael Sonnen saying he had some insider information, and then this video continues to show Aljamain Sterling talking about how he feels like going into the featherweight. So he's jumping up from 135 to 145 for the first time, which I'm really excited about.
To say, but I will offer you this one thing, little piece of inside baseball. We'll see how it works out. But right now, with Team Oliveira, their biggest concern is not Saturday. They got one opponent first, and this opponent's beat them before several times, and that is the scale. Yes. And right now they're getting some weight off, and they are a little bit worried about their athlete.
Wow.
Well, it's a very big deal because people are talking about
Remember, he lost the belt for it. Remember, he lost the belt because he didn't make the weight down in Arizona against Gaethje.
This is arguably a #1 contendership match. And just to remind you, Dana White will not allow you to fight for the title next off of previously missing the weight class. So it could have some implication.
So guys, what do y'all think about that? Charles Oliveira, man, he's been in this game for such a long time. He's not a huge lightweight. So I wonder if it's like a medical condition, you know, when you're that lean, though. Oliveira is lean, so a lot of times, guys, like the last 24 hours, you start cutting water, sometimes 48 hours, you know, and you put the blankets on, go to the sauna, you know, start running on the treadmill, really lightweight, shadow boxing, you know, with your sauna suit on, start sweating it out. Some people can't take it as well as others. You never know, too. He might also be like on a steroid for like a sinus infection or congestion medicine, and that can also affect how your body heals. So remember, when you're going through fight camp, your body is destroyed. Your body is so destroyed, and I know like in the amateurs at least, the cutting isn't as bad. So like whenever I want to cut for a boxing fight, I'm going to go ahead and try to cut like 1 to half a pound of fat per week leading up to my fight. So I'm not cutting any water weight when I step on that scale. I've cut body fat. Okay, so with a lot of these guys here on the elite level in MMA, they don't really have any body fat. And so they're having to get down by cutting literal, yes, they can lose some. When they're dieting, they're more so losing glycogen stores, which is like the energy inside your muscles, which is like basically carbohydrates that are just a leftover. So it either goes to glycogen or to fat. It's storage. So these guys are burning down their glycogen to get a little bit lighter. They carry about like 500 grams of glycogen in you. And then once that goes down, they got to get rid of the water, you know what I mean, and start cutting out salt and things like that so you're not retaining as much cellular weight. So it's extremely difficult. If Charles Oliveira is always having this issues, my thing is he have asthma, allergies, or is this just too hard of a weight cut for him? And that's completely fine, you know, whether it's one or all three of those reasons or something even else we don't know. But should he jump up then, you know, maybe go to welterweight and jump up? I know he's not the biggest, you know, lightweight in the whole world, but he has the most submissions in the UFC. He's a great fighter. I know his chin gets found all the time and he has a button, but if it's really this hard for him to make weight, what if he'll perform better at welterweight? And maybe because he's so dehydrated, you know, his shape isn't as good, and that's why he gets, I'm not saying gets knocked out, but he does get dropped every single fight he goes into. So what are y'all's thoughts on that, guys? Should Oliveira move up? Do you think maybe it's a health condition or something wrong with his body? But drop your comments down below. I would love to see what y'all have to say. With that being said, let's go see how Aljamains is feeling at 145, okay?
Well, I feel like I'm going to have the speed advantage for sure. I think I'm going to be a little bit bouncier, a little bit more agile, quicker. The strength, I think I'm going to surprise him with how strong I actually am. I truly do believe that. I don't know if there's a lot of guys that I'm going to be like, yo, this guy is going to bully me around at 145. I'm not like the biggest, strongest guy when it comes to like benching or squatting or anything like that. But when it comes to like wrestling strength, I get my hands on your legs or your body. I think guys are going to be very shocked and surprised when I grab them how strong I actually feel.
Look at that transformation, guys. So already, you know, you see Aljamain, he was a huge bantamweight. I don't know how he cut all that weight. He was extremely, extremely strong for his division. So it's going to be really cool seeing him go up to featherweight. I think it's a long time overdue. Like, I don't know if it was in this video or the previous video, Justin Gaethje, I'll drop it down the ad screen at the end of this video. Justin Gaethje was saying, hey, he doesn't want to fight Makhachev in June because it's only a 2-month turnaround. You remember when Aljamain Sterling just defended his title, and then he with Henry Cejudo, and 3 months later, he went and fought Sean O'Malley? Maybe he should have taken Gaethje's approach and not jumped in as quickly, but that's just my 2 cents. And then also, like with Oliveira, you know, he gets dropped all the time. Maybe with him cutting all that weight, Aljamain Sterling, when he got knocked out by Sean O'Malley, it will help him now in the featherweight division. Let's see. But we can already see on his physique over here on the left in the green when he was a bantamweight, how much more just drier he was. He hardly had any water held on him, not an ounce of fat, but like there's no cellular weight in there, like, you know, like water being held in your cells or anything like that. Over here to the right, this Aljamain looks filled out. You can see he's got not fat whatsoever, but he does have some fat storage in him. And also, you know, it looks like he's carrying a nice amount of water to him, like he hasn't been dehydrating all the time. So I'm really excited to see this, guys. Let's see how Aljamain Sterling performs. He said that he's going to do to Qatar what Holloway did to him. Holloway, you know, has the most strikes in the UFC. He broke a record for a round, and I don't see Aljamain Sterling doing that. You know, they call him the Funk Master because he is a little funky. He's a great grappler. He's great at doing the human backpack. You know, put him in a body lock. But I don't see him doing a striking clinician to his newest opponent in the new featherweight division. But if Aljamain Sterling wins this fight, what are his options after this, right, guys? So what happens when he wins this fight? He beats someone who's ranked in the featherweight. Now, since he was the champion, one of the most decorated bantamweight champions of all time, does that mean immediately he can go ahead and call out Topuria? does he want to fight someone like Topuria? Because we know, it always used to be strikers can't beat wrestlers. But with Sean O'Malley and Ilia Topuria, we've seen that, even though you're a wrestler, you can still get knocked out if the guy has good enough timing and good enough skill, right? And so I don't see Aljamain Sterling want to calling out Ilia Topuria, because if Sean O'Malley was able to drop him like that, what is Topuria going to do? He's going to kill him. He's going to kill him. And that's my opinion. So maybe he can go up, call Topuria if that's really what he wants to do. Because, as of right now, they're saying no one wants to fight him. Maybe Aljamain Sterling will be that person. Hey, I'm down to fight him. Obviously, Aljamain Sterling is a badass. He's had some amazing performances, and I can't wait to see him fight in the featherweight division. I think it's overdue. But I don't know what his next move is from here. I think that he should just, maybe try to fight like Emmett first, you know what I mean? Or maybe after Gaethje and Holloway fight, try fighting Holloway, but work your way up to featherweight in competition, and then maybe go to Topuria. He hasn't said what he wants to do after this. This is all just speculation, guys. But drop your comments down below what you think. I'd love to get a conversation started and see what your inputs and your opinions are on this. But with all that being said, guys, I'm out. Peace.